Welcome to my review of Hobbs and Shaw, the first Fast and Furious spin-off directed by David Leitch and starring, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jason Statham, Idris Elba, and Vanessa Kirby, among others. And in this film, a secret evil organization who deem themselves superior are planning to destroy everyone else by spreading this virus throughout the world and therefore eliminating everyone that they deem inferior. So basically the internet and social media. And of course, Hobbs and Shaw have to team up, reluctantly so, to stop this from happening. By any definition of the word, the Fast and Furious franchise has now, by this point, got to be one of the most fascinating franchises to ever grace the silver screen. Who would have thought back in 2001 the Point Break ripoff would not only have 8 films in its franchise, create a spin-off, and by all means becoming a sci-fi action flick? Because that's what this is. Hobbs and Shaw doesn't make any logical sense. It's ridiculous. It's over the top. It's bloated. It's funny, and it tries to be dramatic at some points. It's an 80s cartoon. It's an 80s action film, and it knows it is that. As I said, this film makes no logical sense. The plot is kind of there to make this sort of story advance and progress, but what you go to this film for is for the action, the explosions, the sequences where they do have fast cars, paying homage to the franchise that they spanned out of, and seeing The Rock and Jason Statham throw jabs at each other verbally and physically. In that sense, it really works. Again, this is a ridiculous 80s movie slash cartoon, and I loved every second of it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is one of my favorite movies of the year and it's going to win all the Oscars. It's not. You go to this film for the popcorn, and in that sense, it truly delivers. First of all, The Rock and Jason Statham, they're amazing together. They really, really are. Every scene with them, I could just watch that and I'd be happy. Everything with these guys just works. Not only when they're alone and interacting with other characters in the film, but when they're verbally attacking, just talking to each other. They could be sitting down. It's just magic. There's a sequence where both of them have to go across these separate rooms and they have to face certain obstacles that are in there, and it creates for just great comedy, and they work as well in the action sequences, which is no surprise to anybody. Something else that is great in this film is Idris Elba. This dude is just one of my favorite actors working today, alongside the other two. He knows exactly what film he is in. There's a line that he delivers when he has Hobbs and Shaw trapped in these chains and they can't get out, and just proves, I don't know if that was in the script or if he said it just like that, it came into his mind as they were shooting the scene, but he just understands what kind of movie this is, and everyone really does. The scriptwriters, David Leitch understands it, The Rock, Jason Statham, Vanessa Kirby, everyone just knows what they're in for with this film. And again, in that sense, it really works. There's a scene when a helicopter has a car hooked onto itself and it starts to pull it, but then other cars come in and connect with this other car, and the helicopter just starts to lift all these cars. That is the type of film that you're going to watch. If you don't like that description, just don't watch this film, even though it's been out for 2 weeks and I'm really late with this review. So as far as what this film should deliver goes, it does that really fantastically. But there are things that really don't work in this film. This film has cameos. And this is a film I never thought would be a cameo type of film. And they start out as entertaining. They start out as kind of nice to see, and you understand the connections and how they got these people. But at a certain point, they start being distracting. One in particular that, again, I didn't necessarily not enjoy it, but it just felt odd that they wanted to keep coming with all these cameos. The film is also kind of long. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, counting with credits, and there are post-credit scenes, so you do kind of have to stick around for the whole thing. You can start to feel the runtime of this film. I think 15-20 minutes off of it, just the 2-hour mark would have been really, really nice. And the pacing can kind of dwindle a little bit, especially from the transition of the second act to the third act. There's a point in the film where it kind of just stops, and they have to very calmly explain what they're going to do next in a really elongated sequence. And again, the third act really justifies the runtime of the film, kind of, but you still do feel it as you're watching it. If you have enjoyed the trailers for this film, I think it's going to deliver exactly what you expect of this film, what anyone could expect from a film like this. If this is not your type of film, if the trailers haven't convinced you, seriously, don't go watch it. It's a Fast and Furious spin-off. It knows it is that, and it commits to it to a T. The things that don't work haven't worked in the past for the other main films in the franchise. It doesn't work here. The banter between Statham and The Rock is just spectacular to witness, and it's worth the price of admission alone. And the action sequences are really great. From David Leitch, that is no surprise. However, there are so many of them that can kind of blend together and start to feel like they're the same over and over again, just changing the background and location. They don't do really anything inventive with action sequences. They don't reinvent the wheel. They are well shot and they are presentable. I think that's what they wanted to do. I think that's what they needed to do. I'm going to give Hobbs and Shaw a B-. Let me know what you thought of Hobbs and Shaw in the comments below, my beautiful geekies, and thank you so much for watching. And let me know how you rank the Fast and Furious franchise, of course, with now its first spin-off. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. I'll be back with more reviews, because I've had a long hiatus from the channel, and I hope to see you there. So until then, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share, because it really helps me out. I'll see you then, and don't forget, love each other and love the movies.